What's good YouTube, it's Adam from I'm Music Mole. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're gonna go ahead and cook up a beat from a sample. Right here we got a blank Logic session loaded up. I'm gonna go ahead and change my tempo mode over to automatic mode. This way Logic will figure out the tempo for us. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and bring in the sample, the Soul Train Gang Soul Train 75. It is the sample I grabbed from LALAL.ai. So right here Logic detected the tempo, great. Now we can just jump into sampling. So the reason why I chose the sample is because I want to take the strings from this sample. So we all know about Logic Stem Splitter that is built into the DAW. Now I could go ahead and stem split this in Logic, but I won't get the strings isolated the way I want. It'll include other instruments as well in there because Logic only gives you 4 tracks: drums, vocals, bass, and other. The strings will fall into that other category, but I just want those strings. So if you want to isolate a particular instrument from a sample, there are some tools online that lets you do just that takes stem splitting a whole step further, that will split by instrument. So here we are on LALAL.ai. It allows you to take your audio and video and stem it out to any one of these tracks. This makes it really good because if you're just searching for a piano or a synthesizer from a track, LALAL will stem that out for you and isolate that sound. So for this track in particular, I want to go ahead and isolate the strings. And here's what I really like about LALAL.ai. It doesn't automatically take your credits every time you upload an audio. You can actually preview what you're about to get before actually using your credits. And by credits, I mean minutes. If you look up top over here, this is how many minutes I have to stem out. So if I were to stem out this track, it would take 3 minutes and 43 seconds off of my remaining 85 minutes and 19 seconds credit. This is not a subscription service. It is basically a pay-as-you-go service. So as I said, you can preview what you are getting beforehand. So let's go ahead and hit play. This is just the strings isolated. And over on the bottom is the track without the strings. So to download the track, all you got to do is click process the entire file. And what it will do, it will prepare the file for you. You could download it straight in the web, but it'll also send you a copy of both of those files, the strings alone and the track without the strings, to your email as well. So let's go ahead and just bring in our track right here into Logic that we just downloaded from LALAL.ai. We don't need to show that. Let's bring that down. I just want to make sure that they are lined up here. Make sure the string starts on the 1. And let's just move that over. And I'm going to make the volume a little louder here because the strings are a little lower in the tracks. Let's go 10 dBs maybe. So next thing that we got to do is turn on flex mode. This way, when we chop up the sample and we change the tempo, it's going to stay in time with the tempo that we change and no sort of stretching or anything needed that you have to adjust to the sample itself. So we're going to go ahead and turn on flex mode right here. Let's turn it on this track over here, and we'll turn it on this track as well. Now the problem with this one over here, Logic doesn't actually know the tempo of this file. So I'm going to print this tempo map because it's the same as the original track to this sample. So I'm going to control click on that. That's going off my screen right here, but I'm going to go to the tempo and I'm going to go to write project tempo to audio file. We're going to click OK. And now it's completely lined up perfectly. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop out what I want. So I want from bar 3, let's go 8 bars. So I'm going to put a chop right there, and I'm going to put a chop right here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new tempo set. So let's go ahead and go tempo set new. Now let's go ahead and put in our new tempo. So I'm going to go ahead and just pitch this up to, let's go to not pitch this up, speed it up to 170 beats per minute, and our sample will follow that new tempo now. Because we had flex mode turned on. First thing I usually like to do for like trap type of stuff is let's put on halftime and see how that sounds. So I'm going to bring in Logic's multi-effects beat breaker. I'll turn on the halftime effect. That's not bad, we can work with that. I'm gonna go ahead and just bounce this in place. I'm just gonna pull up the gain a little bit before I do that. And then we're just gonna take the first sort of, maybe we'll take the first 2 bars right there. And what we're going to do here is we'll put another instance of beat breaker on there. And let's put on this instant triplet. I'll just repeat that. So the way I like to sample is basically take the sample until it's unrecognizable. At least that's how I like to sample. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and click into this audio file, and we're going to change the format of this sample. Now it's not going to affect the pitch of the sample. It's just going to change up the tone of it. So we're going to go over to track, and we're going to go ahead and enable flex pitch. Let's go to flex pitch right here. Logic will analyze it. And what we're going to do is select all, and we're going to pull down our format. And listen how like nice and dark it's going to get right now. So let's pull it down to about like 400-ish. All right, so that second half sounds a little bit weird. So let's just go ahead and cut that out. And let's just take this. And then maybe on this last one right here, we'll pitch it down 4 semitones. So we got like this dark and menacing strings. I don't know quite where we're going with it, but trust the process. Next, let's go ahead and open up our browser and let's go to some drums. I'm going to bring in like a Metro Boomin kit here from Heroes and Villains, the deconstructed kit. We'll go to Superhero, and let's take that first snare in here. We'll go to Drum Machine Designer, and let's just pop that a pattern in right here. Maybe we'll change it up to 32 steps. Add an extra snare here. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in a hi-hat. We'll take it from the same folder or same track. And let's draw on those hi-hats. We'll start off with a 2-step pattern. Let's just change up the velocity so it's not so static. There's a little bit of a bounce. Next, let's go ahead and give it some note repeats here. So go ahead and add in some note changes in there. And we'll bring this one down. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in an 808. Let's bring in that Superhero 808. And let's just play in something here using our keyboard. Let me make sure that our polyphony is set to mono, and we'll just make this a little louder. Let's record that in. Now let's go ahead and bring in a kick. Let's make this kick punch a whole lot harder. Let's take out all of these over here. Actually, I'll leave the compressor on there. We'll go over to hard clipping and just pull this up a bit. Maybe we can get that 808 buzzing a whole lot more as well. So let's go over to our 808. Let's bring up Logic's Fat Effects. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna reject a little bit of the low end here. Let's turn on our filter. I'm gonna turn off the distortion. I just really want the drive there. We'll leave the compressor on for that punch. Let's see if we pitch this down 1 octave. No. All right, maybe we could go ahead and bring an open hat as well. All done. Let's say this is the end of the beat right here. I'm going to go ahead and go to customize, and I'm going to go to customize my control bar and display. We're going to go over to our LCD, and we're going to go to custom over here. We'll turn on Varispeed. So if we turn this on, we can go ahead and change the tempo by a certain percentage. What we can also do is go from speed only to affect the speed and pitch as well. So it's going to bring everything down about 20%. What we can also do is hit this percent right here and go to detune, and we could change it by the amount of semitones. Let's go to -5. So that is how you sample individual sounds within a track using LALAL.ai. I will leave a link to LALAL.ai down below. It is an affiliate link, so if you do use that link, I will get a slight kickback if you do decide to purchase any minutes. I should also mention that LALAL.ai also has a voice changer. It is in a free beta mode right now, but you can take your vocals or any vocals at all and turn it into one of your favorite artist vocals. 21 Savage, Drake, Elvis, Eminem, Frank Sinatra, Kanye West, and the list goes on here. That is free if you did want to try that. If you do have a question on this or just want to chat, let's go and talk down below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.